That's it. That's it. Let's go. Practice fast.
Welcome to Finsiders TV. Barry Butel alongside John Congemi. John, the big news, I guess, off the top would be Joey Hanos, waived injured today.
Yeah, it was disappointing probably for Joey, getting injured in that last preseason game. But now the Dolphins are down to 3 tight ends. Will they bring someone else in? Will they stick with 2? That's the big question right now for Coach Sparano. And as much as 2 tight end offenses the Dolphins run, you would think they're going to have to stick with 3. But are the 3 that are on the roster right now going to stay here? That's the big question.
Who is going to stay? Who is going to go? Some big decisions I'm sure Coach Sparano doesn't like to make when he has to bring those guys into his office. Down to 75 here by the end of the month.
Well, a lot of tough decisions in my mind, Barry, because you take a look at that offensive line, whereas, a couple of those guys gone. You haven't seen a lot of reps, a couple guys injured, Nate Ness, Nolan Carroll in the defensive secondary. How well can the linebackers play on special teams? Going back to the offensive line with Donald Thomas, is he going to stick around, or is he hasn't played well enough to stay? So a lot of unanswered questions in a lot of positions, and they'll be answered very quickly.
Position flexibility. Coach loves those couple of words, and he looks for it a little bit now in Kouamisi.
I think so. I think Kouamisi's done a pretty good job on the strong side, but they want to move him to the weak side, see what he can do pass rushing wise on the open side, against that tackle. So I think a little bit of an experiment, moving him around and maybe a little bit on special teams. But what you can do, the multiple things that you can do defensively and on special teams are going to help, stick around.
Now the team, 4th and final preseason game Thursday night at Dallas. Usually the starters don't see, if any, action, but they might see a couple of snaps. It'll be loud, as it always is, as Coach Sparano said, and a good preparation for the first 2 regular season matchups.
I think so. You go on the road to Buffalo and Minnesota, loud buildings, especially in the Dome at Minnesota. So this is a good preparation game for crowd control, for crowd noise. There's a lot of folks in Dallas going to be at the game. Bill Parcells coming back, Coach Sparano coming back. So I think this is a good prep game for the Dolphins. And as you alluded to, you may see the first teamers for both sides play a little bit longer. I know that Tony Romo and that offense really hasn't gotten it going yet in Dallas, so I would think that both teams might have the starters in just to see what they can do for a couple series.
But just like Dallas and the Dolphins, their minds are focused clearly, especially the Dolphins, on the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I think it's important to finish off the preseason, but the preseason is the preseason. When everything's said and done about what you can do in the preseason, I think you're going to throw that out the window and you play for real on the 12th. So I think that's what this team is focused on right now.
That'll do it for John Congemi. I'm Barry Butel. Thanks so much for tuning in to Finsiders TV.